Hello everyone, this is Ronnie. Have you ever heard a plant-based vegan advocate? Have you watched the Game Changers documentary maybe and they say this quotation? They say vegan diets, they say that the American Dietetics Association have proclaimed a vegan diet is appropriate for individuals during all stages of the life cycle including pregnancy, lactation, infancy, childhood, etc. Have you heard that phrase? I've seen it shared a couple of times. A vegan diet is appropriate for all stages of the life cycle. American Dietetics Association. Have you heard that one? Now, I believe that, right? And I've got no problem with that. And I'm a vegan and I have a problem with that. My problem is that that's not what the American Dietetics Association says. So some of you that are sharing that have got to accept that that's not what they said. Or am I wrong? So you can find the article. It's called Position of the American Dietetic Association, vegetarian diets. It's on PubMed. I think if you put that into Google, Position of the American Dietetic Association on vegetarian diets. Vegetarian diets. Okay. Here's what it says. It is the position of the American Dietetic Association that appropriately planned vegetarian diets, including total vegetarian diets or vegan diets, are healthful, nutritionally adequate, and may provide health benefits in the prevention of treatment of certain diseases. So we can say for sure that they say that vegan diets are healthful, nutritionally adequate, and may provide health benefits in the prevention and treatment of certain diseases. So we can definitely say that statement, but that's not the statement I see people share. The next sentence goes on to say, well-planned vegetarian diets are appropriate for individuals during all stages of the life cycle, including pregnancy, lactation, infancy, childhood, and adolescence, and for athletes. So at that point you could say, well, when they're saying vegetarian, they mean also vegan, because in the sentence before that it says including total vegetarian or vegan diets. So you can say, well, they mean vegan as well. But the confusing thing is the next sentence goes on to say a vegetarian diet is defined as one that does not include meat or seafood or products containing those foods. Full stop. It doesn't say that it doesn't include eggs, milk, and all the rest of it. And by the way, the initial word vegetarian pretty much meant no animal products if you go back far enough. Or at least implied that. But this is a very confusing statement to me, and the rest of it just goes on to talk about vegetarian, and it uses the words vegetarian. And the funny thing is, vegetarian, there's not really like a vegetarian movement anymore. Do you know what I mean? There's not like appropriate for vegetarians. You don't see that so much anymore. It's almost always appropriate for vegans. It's almost like you see more vegan restaurants than vegetarian. I don't know why, but like you rarely see something called the vegetarian this or that or whatever. So probably because the worst part of a vegetarian diet is the dairy, and the eggs. So why would you keep them in? But I don't know. I guess I'm unclear. I'm unclear on that. I think that sentence is very unclear. But I've seen vegans say vegan diet is appropriate for all stages of the life cycle. I don't know if they've confirmed that anywhere, if that's what they mean when they say vegetarian diet, because the sentence before says vegetarian diets including total vegetarian diets or vegan diets, and then the sentence after that, vegetarian diet is one that does not include meat. So the more I'm reading this, I think it's an all-encompassing phrase for all types of diet that don't include meat and seafood. I think that's what they mean. So I think they're including vegan in that. But it's just a little bit unclear from the wording. So go and have a look at it yourself. let me know down below. I mean, clearly I believe that a vegan diet is appropriate for all stages of the life cycle and all that stuff. I just think we don't need to quote organisations if they don't clearly support the viewpoint, if it's not 100% clear. You also don't want to say things and then someone turns around and says, no, actually you're wrong. They don't say vegan, they say vegetarian. So it's always important to have a look into these things and see what the words say. I'm letting this run through my head a little bit. The more I'm reading it, the more I'm thinking probably they do mean vegan, as well as it's just a bit weird that there's one definition in the sentence before, there's a definition in the sentence after that could mean something else. It's a little bit confusing. So let me know, have a look, see what you think.